So I'm just wrapped up filming with scissorvixens.com, and I'm with Drew, and I'm just going to ask him a few questions as to how you got into the industry and that. So you've been doing it a very long time. How long have you been doing this, Drew? Because you're probably one of the best known scissor sites, and you know, what kind of made you start your own website?
Well, I started back in 2004, and I believe it was May of 2004. So I've been at this for quite a while, 13 years or so. Over 13 years now. And I think what got me into it, I have a wrestling background, so I wrestled for quite a few years. And I've always had a thing for girls with athletic legs. And so it's funny, one day in wrestling practice, this was in junior high, the coach was showing us the scissor hold.
Right.
And at that level, that was an illegal hold. So he was like, okay, if you do this, that's illegal. And I remember watching, I'm thinking, man, I'd never want to get caught in that with some other dude.
Yes.
And then as we're during the practice, the Rockette team came. They're a girl dance team. They come running through the gym, and then that's when
cheerleaders or just
Rockettes. They weren't the cheerleaders, but they were Rockettes. I had no idea why we had Rockettes. But then the little bulb went off my head. I thought, that wouldn't be too bad though if I had one of those Rockettes. Wrap her legs around my head. That could be fun. And so throughout my wrestling career, I'd always date girls that were athletic, and they'd want to learn how to wrestle, and I'd say, well, you gotta learn how to use your legs, because that's your strongest body part. And so that's basically how I developed the fetish.
Okay. Because usually it's quite small guys that you're associated with it. In all the videos you usually see kind of, guys that weigh 135, 150 pounds kind of, but obviously you don't wear that, and you obviously look like you go to the gym yourself. So
well, I was I was small. I wrestled, I was telling you earlier, I wrestled at 98 pounds. I tried to get down, I was very small, so I was always very tiny. We all grow up, we get jobs, and that's, I was working for a company, and then I learned about sessions. I'm a little bit older than most of the guys in the business, so I go back a little ways.
How did you find out about sessions?
I think it was in a publication. Somebody, I found it in some kind of publication, like a newspaper, in the back of the publication. And I thought, I can't believe this is real, that people are doing this.
I think that's actually how the guy that runs WBT7
oh, really?
Is the newspaper.
Okay, yeah. And I've never met him, but I think he's been around for a while.
Yeah.
But so that's how I was like, wow, I can't believe this is actually a thing. That there are girls out there, wrestling guys, on the side are making a living doing this. And this is before it became popular on the internet.
Yes.
And so for, years went by, and I'm like, man, I got to try one of these sessions one of these days. And then the internet, again, I'm dating myself. Then the internet pops up, and I start seeing, like, Diana the Valkyrie, this site, and I'm like, oh my God, this is really much bigger than I thought. And I, started discovering different websites, different production companies, Premier Productions.
And you did a few sessions yourself as well. You said what led you into stuff.
Yeah, it took me quite a few years to finally get over that hump and actually do a session. But and then Bill Wick,
what made you take the delve? Because quite a lot of guys out there are still sort of in their head don't know whether to actually go ahead and do a session or not. Then you'd be like, some guys just like to watch videos and that's their thing.
I bought a couple. Before sessions, I bought a couple of videos. I bought from Bill Wick. Bill Wick is probably like one of the pioneers. And then Premier Productions, I bought a couple of videos, and then after that, it's like a progression. It's like a progression. You buy the video, and then all of a sudden you want the next thing, and okay, I've got to have a session and experience the real thing. So my first session was in Boston, where I was living at the time, and Casey Cavanaugh, and I remember how nervous I was. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing?
Yes.
And she was great, and she could wrestle. Okay, I wrestled, so I thought, okay, she can wrestle, so we actually went at it a little bit.
So what was your favorite kind of session? Was it competitive? Was it semi-competitive?
No, scissors non-competitive, because, again, I wrestled, so it was like, I don't like to try to prove anything. Yeah. When I session with girls, it's not like I could kick your ass. I'm not like that. So but I do like scissors.
And I'm quite happy to put your head between someone's thighs.
Yeah, but Casey, this girl, have you ever heard of Casey?
I have, yes, indeed. I've seen her on Sara stuff, and stuff, and she gets very good reviews.
Yeah, she's just ridiculously strong. And so that was my first session. I'm like, holy shit. So that was an hour session. And I probably did a few others after that. And then I thought, this is a little expensive, and, for the guys that, there's plenty of guys that can afford it. But I thought, I'm just going to try to start this
smart
website.
Guy
Yeah, I had a full-time job, but then I got laid off. So I had a full year to think about my next move. And I thought, I want to just start the website. And I taught myself how to do everything. I didn't know anything about HTML. I just had to start from scratch. And had the idea for the site. I approached another guy. His name is Candor. He writes scissor stories, and I asked him to be a partner. And so it took me about 6 months to finally get the site put together because again I had to learn everything. Right. And launched it on a Sunday, and then the very next day I went back to work. So, but the site did much better than I thought it would initially. Yeah. It was enough to pay. I mean, let's face it, I was doing shoots, so that was my session as well.
Yeah.
And then I was making good enough money to the point where the next time we had layoffs, I was like, hey, basically volunteer.
Yeah. Would you say the industry struggles more today than what it did when you were?
Yeah, I mean, I talked to a lot of producers today that, back in 2004, we were all making pretty good money. No one's making that kind of money now. There's a lot of competition, obviously, out there.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing is competition. But not only that, but pirating.
Yeah.
So
it's important for guys to support and not to kind of share stuff.
Yeah. Unfortunately, there's so much content out there on various sites that people are downloading for free. But I kind of have my view is, guys that are downloading it for free will never pay anyhow. Yeah. They're just going to get the stuff for free, and very few are actually going to come to your site and buy. Yeah. But luckily, there's enough honest customers out there to keep us going. So, but I'm still having fun. There's moments where
is there ever days where is there ever days that you just don't feel like not being scissored?
Yeah, I mean, we were talking about this earlier as well. When I first started, it was like, today's shoot day. Now's the fun. I get to get my head crushed. Yeah. And but now I had moments, I had days where I'm like, I'm not in the mood to get scissored. Yeah. It's still.
I noticed that with guys too, because I mean, some guys that have had sessions, for some guys who've been doing sessions for like 20, 25 years, like a long time, and maybe started off kind of competitive, and now they're semi-competitive, and then they're like fantasy to the point then where they just sort of, maybe even just like muscle worship, where they're not really that interested. It's too hard, but they still like the feeling of it because they're like athletic girls. It's kind of their thing.
I mean, I'm always gonna be attracted to a girl with athletic legs and body in general, and getting scissored, but it's I mean, it's like anything after you do it 10 years, I'm still enjoying it. I mean, I think of the alternative, and I'll take this any day.
What is the most crazy shoot that you've done then? What is the most kind of out there shoot that you've done? Is there any
craziest shoot?
Yeah.
Well, this is pretty much. I mean, we're just.
We're not talking sales pitch here. So what's the most kind of out there? Like, what have you ever done any where you've kind of like feared for your life or anything? Or
there's been a few. I mean, today there was a moment, when you had me in some crazy, full weight, thing like. I mean, that was kind of I was like, I was kind of screaming at you. That was serious. I was like, Sara. So,
has there ever been any girls that actually have really surprised you with their strength? Like small girls, big
all
girls?
The time.
Who would you say is like kind of the best for scissors? Like,
well, I see. Now, one thing I don't do, and guys have been trying this over years. Drew, you gotta rank your top 10. And I usually, I don't rank the girls, but yeah, there's been some girls that, you look at them and you think, oh, they're not going to be able to squeeze, and they just shock the shit out of you. Yeah. Even like Miss Tiffany here in Vegas, she's just this little thing, but I got pretty dizzy a few times with her.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times what happens is the smaller girls,
Well, they can get their whole leg around.
they got their whole leg, they
Yeah.
dig right into your neck.
Right in your bones.
You know, it's just pure power. It's like, okay, she's gonna shatter my jaw if I don't tap. But the smaller girls, a lot of times can knock you out if you're not careful.
And that's the same with their chokes as well. Like,
Yeah, well, that's why rear naked chokes. You can choke anybody. Anybody can choke anyone out in a rear naked choke because the arms, they're like ropes around your neck.
So what's the future for Scissor Vixens then? Have you anything new coming up? Anything new and exciting? Or
I don't know. I just right now I have no one scheduled, but there's so many girls out there now that I'll start looking for new talent tomorrow. I mean, one thing that I think does separate Scissor Vixens from a lot of sites is that we feature a lot of different girls all the time, and that's one thing I enjoy. I always enjoy finding new girls.
do you have like the skinny girl, athletic girls? Do you
We're all over the
Do you have-
ballpark. Yeah, we got thin girls. I mean, in general, all the girls are gonna be in good shape.
Yeah.
You know.
What do you think? What do you think most guys prefer? Like, out of
I think guys prefer, and I think it's kind of evolved over the years. When I first started, they really were into the big bodybuilders.
Yeah.
But now, I think they like to compromise with fitness girls.
Yeah.
You know, that's
Well, I
sort
think
of
the whole look has came off bodybuilding and it shifted even in Olympia and stuff. It's now all about
Well, there is no,
fitness.
Yeah, they got rid of
Bikini.
female bodybuilding
Yeah.
now. It's physique category is now
Yeah.
what the bodybuilding used to be. But yeah, I mean, as long as the girl's attractive and she's got
Strong legs.
that always helps. But you know, it's too bad because we get back to the petite girls. I try to tell these guys when I shoot with them and I write up the storyline.
Yeah.
I know a lot of these guys think, Drew, come on, you're full of shit. That she's just too small.
Yeah.
But they just, I've been scissored by over 500 different girls. I've got like 530 models on the site now, so I know any girl can fuck you up, with their legs, especially if they have a little training too.
Oh, that's true.
And then there's Sara lips, girls like that to make you fear for your life. So,
well, if you want to catch any of the videos that we have filmed today, you can catch them at
scissorvixens.com.
And do you have a clips for sale store as well, or is it just Scissor Vixens?
I do. There's a clips for sale store too. So it's store 12354.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Hope I got that right.
yeah, and thanks for watching, guys. It was a pleasure to shoot with you today, Drew, and thank you.
It was great to finally work with you as well. So.
Okay. Thanks, guys.